Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Charlotte Motor Speedway with the ninth event in the Stirling Sim Academy series. We're here currently following along with the number 98 of Dean Qualley as we are going through practice. We're going to have a good turnout tonight. Got a lot of people showing up, and it's going to be great to see everyone on track here. So it looks like we have the number 98 of Dean Qualley running a... Looks like that's a Dirty Mo Media and a... Can't read the front quite. Kenny Wallace Racing Experience is nice. It's good to see. See what the number 99 of George C. Williams is riding out tonight. Nice. Bright pink striped street stock. It's good to see. We're here at Legacy Charlotte actually here tonight. We're trying to change it up a little bit, make something a little bit interesting. Have a little bit less grip to see if we can make a little bit better racing here. Shake it up compared to what we've always seen at normal Charlotte. Race is also going to be held in the daytime. The number 51 of Zach Cox. I also just realized that I do not have trading paints open. Might be part of the problem. Give all of our textures a little bit of a reload. Ah, there we go. Dean is now running his ERA Sim Sports team paint. Great to see as always. Zach running his paint and George C. Williams running his own custom paint tonight. That's good. As he goes into the pits. We have 5 minutes and 30 seconds left of practice left to go here at Charlotte. Looks like we have a lot of people join up in the session, but nobody really out on track here today so far. Follow along with Dean a little bit. Best lap time is currently set by George C. Williams with 37.04. Everyone looks like they're pretty close behind that. Not very far off. It's going to be tough competition here. With some good competition, hopefully we can see some better racing. Not to say that we haven't had good racing in the past. If you take a look at our Michigan race, and now that we have highlights up too on the Homebrew Racing League YouTube channel, make sure you go and give that a look. You'll see that all of our races are pretty intense, but make sure you can follow along now. Looks like Zachary Cox has just tied George C. Williams for first position. With that kind of pace, it looks like George is going to have some competition as he comes back out onto track. Maybe if you can draft along with someone, they can get a little bit better of a lap time here. We follow along from the blimp view now. See them going through 3 and 4. The difference between normal Charlotte and Legacy Charlotte, aside from the age difference and the track surface, is you'll see that the structure of the track has been changed over time. The back stretch has actually had its grandstands removed for now, and the surface was redone. So you can see that there. Looks like a lot of our drivers are getting more and more competitive as the time continues to tick down. Zachary Cox about to finish up another lap here at Charlotte. We'll see if he does any better. And his time looks like he did not improve. But man, he is right on George C. Williams. So when we get to qualifying, it's possible he's going to overtake him. Scott Whiteman comes out onto the track as well, running his Woodbeck Auto Parts and Homebrew Racing, and Stirling Sim Academy, of course, Racing Series paint. Started off our session leading in first place, but it looks like he was put down to third. Maybe he can give himself back up to a higher position. Certainly something he's capable of. We've seen him fast in the past. As he's now running along with Brad Whiteman, another good series competitor here at the Stirling Sim Academy series. They've worked together in the past, but they've also been kind of enemies on the track in the past. Looks like Brad is skimming the wall, not quite used to the less amount of grip as he pushes Scott White in. There's a crash coming off of the first, now going into turn 1. Can't quite call a caution in practice, but if any drivers are watching our TVs, make sure you take a look at that. Something to be wary of. Brad Whiteman coming back out onto the backstretch to see if he can make any kind of competition here. As he works with Brad Whiteman, and it looks like he's going to be working with the number 50. Nope, not quite 51. Maybe the 98 of Dean Quality. Remember, if you guys are interested in seeing the kind of racing we have here for yourself, make sure you check out Homebrew Racing. We are on iRacing, and you can make sure you give us a look. Search us up in the lead section, and we will make sure you find us. Remember that the Stirling Sim Academy series is brought to you by Woodbeck Auto Parts, one of Southern Canada's largest auto parts distributors since 1939. Make sure you check them out at www.woodbeckautoparts.com. Here we have Dean Qualley and Scott Whiteman working together in the last 45 seconds of practice. Maybe they can get themselves a little bit better lap times, as it looks like Scott is currently your leader, leading by 0.2 seconds. Looks like he got a big draft off Dean and maybe someone else too. Probably Brad Whiteman earlier. If this is the kind of times we're going to be seeing here, it looks like we're going to have some tough competition tonight. Across the line, and let's see. Any improvement? Brady Floyd coming in as well, currently in second place, 0.03 seconds behind Scott Whiteman. The championship is currently looking interesting for the Street Stock Series. Ace Thewitt is your current leader of the championship. Only leading by around 30 points, though, because Brady Floyd is right on his tail. And we are now at the end of practice here at Legacy Charlotte. Looks like Brad Whiteman is going to be out on track as he starts his qualifying. We're going to ride along with him actually inside on the gyro cam so we can see the banking here. Or not. Oh, is he going to restart? Here, we'll follow along with Scott Whiteman instead, as we are now going into turn 3 down low, so we can get a safe pit exit. 5 minutes here of qualifying, 4 minutes and 20 left. As Scott comes to start his first lap. A good lap time here in qualifying is basically going to either condemn you or make you one of the race contenders here at Charlotte, especially Legacy Charlotte, with the track surface being a little bit looser and drafting not being quite as important. Running the middle line seems going to be the top thing here, perhaps a little bit at the bottom too, as Scott is doing that as he now comes out onto the back stretch. Scott's going to be our first driver across the qualifying line, so we're going to see what the first time is and what our drivers are going to have to beat. As we have a lot of drivers now getting ready to start. And Scott Whiteman starts with a 37.19. It's a pretty quick lap here, especially with the street stocks, as there is a lot of other people there, and it looks like George C. Williams is going to be your top qualifier currently with a 37.05. Brady Floyd tying that for second place, and Bryn George only 0.01 seconds back. Cameron Pfeiffer in fourth with .04 back. And Scott Whiteman .14. Perhaps we can see something going into the 36s here, as Scott now finishes his second qualifying lap. And he has a better time of 37.03. Let's follow along with Brady Floyd, one of your serious contenders in the past. He currently is a 4-in-a-row winner as he crosses his line. And he is going to be first place with a 36.37 in qualifying. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left to go here at Legacy Charlotte. These are the kind of times we're going to be seeing throughout the night, especially with the racing. It's going to be very intense here. Sometimes just after getting some good qualifying, you got to do a little bit of a celebration. Ooh. Although the X's do eventually count, so that is something he's going to want to be wary of. With a minute and 45 left of qualifying, it looks like this is almost going to be your finishing grid. Let's follow along with Zach Cox. Oh, he is off the grid now too, or not? Nope, no, he's not. There he is. Sometimes the iRacing camera is going to be off a little bit, as he is now going on to his first qualifying lap. Ace Stewart is now your leader for qualifying, and Brady Floyd has already used his qualifying laps, so it looks like Ace is going to be your leader. Zach Oxen is Sonny's Racing Engines paint. Also sponsored by Homebrew Racing. Make sure you give us a look. Zach crosses the start-finish line, giving him his position of 5th. Looks like we're about to be done with qualifying, as it is only Zach and Ace left to finish up, with Ace being your leader on his first lap out. After a dramatic finish in Michigan, last week, with Ace Stewart coming in second place, so close to beating Brady Floyd, maybe we can see some really interesting racing here. Fox Motorsports team leader comes off now, and there's Ace done too. That is going to be the end of qualifying there at Legacy Charlotte. Our drivers are going to be finishing up here as they come to the grid. So for the final part of qualifying, we have Ace Stewart in first position with a 36.96 qualifying time. Behind him, in second position on his outside, is going to be the number 20 of Brady Floyd, 0.02 seconds back. In the second row, on the inside, is going to be Bryn George. On the outside, in the second row, is going to be the number 10 of Cameron Pfeiffer. In fifth position is going to be the league owner, Zachary Cox. In the third row, on the outside of Zach, is going to be Brad Whiteman. Then behind Zach is going to be the number 17 of Scott Whiteman. Then on his outside is going to be George C. Williams. Then rounding off the grid, we're going to have Dean Qualley and Zachary Thornton rounding it out. Those are going to be your race contestants tonight here at Charlotte. Remember, if you're interested in looking at this kind of racing, make sure you check out Homebrew Racing. We are live on iRacing, and we are accepting new people. We also run different series here, including the Weekend Modified, starting soon. We are also sponsored by Woodbeck Auto Parts. Make sure you check them out at www.woodbeckautoparts.com. Drivers are here on the grid, getting ready to go. Just about everyone is on track, I do believe. Our race control, Jacob Waters, is going to be on your screen for a little bit, as he is there making sure everything is taken care of. Looks like our drivers are about to begin pacing here at Legacy Charlotte. We've got a full field tonight. It's going to make for some interesting racing here. Having good racing is a thing that is very important to us, with our drivers now beginning to pace going through the quad oval, now going into turn 1. Ace Stewart, your points leader, is in first position, followed by the close second of Brady Floyd on his outside. They're going to be battling this entire time to see who can get that first points lead. And maybe, if Brady finishes in first again, we're going to have an almost series champion. It's a playoffs race. The champions are going to be decided soon, based on their finishing positions. Right now, a lot of teams are looking for points as they are finishing it up. First race contender, Zachary Thornton, is going to be towards the back. He is towards there and is going to be making the race interesting tonight. We'll make sure to keep an eye on him. Pace car is off, and here we are at Charlotte as we go into the green flag zone.
Green flag.
And there is the green flag, and the drivers are off. Ace Stewart getting a good start, still in first position with Brady Floyd on his outside. Everyone maintains a 2-wide start, except for Brady Floyd, who's going to go to Ace's inside. Looks like Cameron chooses to stay outside as they make it about 3 wide. They decide to go back with Scott staying low and George filing towards the rear. Zachary Thornton makes up a position starting last without qualifying. The number 92 of Brad Whiteman is on the outside of Dean Qualley and Scott Whiteman as the leaders are being pushed by themselves. Zachary Cox moves himself up into 4th position with Cameron Pfeiffer deciding to take the high line. Everyone else taking the low. Brady is pushing the number 77 of Ace Stewart. That is going to be the race tonight as we have 40 laps here at Legacy Charlotte. Drivers are skidding through the corners as it is difficult to keep grip. Bryn George goes wide. They can make it 3 wide going through turn 2. Looks like they go back to 2 wide as they are trying to not get in a super sketchy position. Cameron Pfeiffer maintaining 4th position now. Zachary Cox moves himself up from 3rd up into 2nd. And he is now, well, up 5th up into 3rd. And now he's moving himself into 2nd as Ace was moved to the outside and left to dry.
The corners, please.
Brady Floyd is now your race leader, followed by Zachary Cox. Number 77 of Ace Stewart is on the outside. Drivers are skimming the wall a little bit. Looks like as they go through the quad oval, it is a difficult track to use here. They now rush through turn 2. Drivers are getting all antsy as they come up towards turn 3. Brady Floyd, you're still your leader with Zach on the outside. Ace in 3rd. Cameron Pfeiffer is following right behind, seeing if he can make it interesting. Zachary Thornton making a huge move up from the rear is now coming up to try to contend a little bit. Same with Dean Qualley in his new paint. Looks like the number 10 of Cameron Pfeiffer is going to be making it interesting as he moves himself up 2. Top 5, all contesting up here. Bryn George falling a little bit further back. He can't boost Brady as much this time around. Scott Whiteman bringing up the rear. They come into 3. Zach on the outside. Bryn George going up a little bit wide. Ace Stewart is currently in that bottom row. It seems like it's the place to be. It's just really hard to keep yourself down there. They continue to go 2 wide. Here they are rushing past the start-finish line as they head into turn 1 now, leaving the quad oval. They are really still all bunched up together. Keeping this all together is going to be what's going to make it interesting. Cameron Pfeiffer still in the 3rd row. Zach on his outside, maintaining a pretty steady position. Bryn George is now going to be pushing Zachary Cox as they head into turn 3. Looks like Bryn goes up to the outside a little bit, sliding up. Everyone slides up just a little bit, it looks like. And it seems like your race leader is going to continue to be Brady Floyd as they go by the start-finish line. Zachary Cox on the outside. He looks like he gets that leading lap position, although maybe he can keep in front of Brady Floyd in his very few starts here. They head onto the backstretch. Brady still down low. Ace on his behind. Bryn is going to be trying to see if he can work with Brady as they are teammates, although he is working pretty well with Zach as it has been so far. They're keeping it a super kind of drag race type race here. Looks like Cameron is going to be pushing the number 77 as they come through. Dean looking to see if he can find a way through as well. He's been a super fast racer here in the past. Ace looking to the inside of Brady. They get a little bit loose as they come through. Make it interesting, continuing to run through, everyone maintaining the best position they can. Scott still bringing up the rear. It looks like Brad had an issue earlier, probably when he was skimming the wall, understandably so. All the cars are pretty loose right now. Looks like there's certain sections that number 51 is a little bit faster, but although right now Brady Floyd is getting ahead, although they seem to be pretty well matched coming through here. Zach goes wide. Ace moves himself up into a guaranteed third position at the moment, although he does get a little bit loose as Bryn uses that as some time to catch up. Inside lane is looking kind of slow right now. Everyone's shuffling around a little bit. Bryn moves himself up to the inside row, pushing Ace back. Oh no, it looks like the duo is coming back at it again. Bryn is going to be pushing that number 20 for the next while. Maybe if Zachary Cox can get in there and mess them up, maybe it'll lead to something else. Ace is having some issues there, slowing everybody down. Dean Quali being slowed just by that as they now have to work with Scott as they're in the rear. As we come back up to the front, we can see Zachary Thornton is going to be working with Bryn now as see if he can maintain a fourth position starting from the rear. Here's in third, Brady Floyd in first. Zachary Cox still maintaining that outside. Maybe he can get himself in there somewhere, but it looks like no one wants to let him in. Drivers are maintaining a little bit more single file now after Ace had a little bit of that slowdown issue. Zach has no draft going through here. It looks like the number 99 of George C. Williams is coming out to help, though, but he just files up behind Zachary Thornton, not giving them any room to help. Thornton is getting a little bit loose coming through the quad oval. Hold it through, coming through two. Dean Quali rounding out the rear at the moment, aside from Brad Whiteman, who's a decent way back. A little bit of popping from Cameron Pfeiffer we see as Cameron is now going to see if he can work with his teammate Zach to see if they can do anything on that outside lane. Unless Cameron decides he wants to follow with that 35-2, but it does not look like it. Your top five appear all working really well together, seeing if they can get anywhere. Brady Floyd looking a little bit antsy, not really sure if he needs to block or work with Bryn. Cameron falls back as it goes to the 35 for the moment. It does not have quite enough speed. Ace going back a little bit more. Dean moving himself up just a bit more now. See if he can get anywhere. Brady Floyd, your continued race leader, as they start catching up to lap Brad White. See him now. Bryn George making it interesting as Zach is right on the quarter panel of that number 20. They go into the quad oval. Looks a little bit loose. Right now, it's really not great for Ace to be in 7th position. Actually, 9th now as he goes right to the rear. He's your points leader, and if Brady can get this win, then it's going to cause some major issues for him and ruin his chance at the championship. Maybe if Ace can work himself back up. He's done it before. We'll see. Number 51 of Zach Cox is catching up to Brady. They are really working well together now. Cameron is right behind him. Maybe Dean can work with him too. Dean's been fast. Maybe they're getting really close together. A little bit of contact from the 10 and the 8, I believe I saw there. Number 35 coming up a little bit. They maintain a little bit. Maybe Bryn is loose. The number 10 is moving to the outside preventively. The number 51 is outside too. They are neck and neck. It looks like Zach was leading just for a little bit there. He's able to maintain that. Maybe if the number 10, his teammate of the 51, can push him, they can get somewhere. Bryn is currently splitting it there in 3rd. Dean seeing if he can push that number 10 as they keep catching the number 92. They run through, almost making it 3 wide. Number 51 comes down to Bryn as the number 20 is your continued race leader. The number 51 is quite low to that number 8, though. Number 35 is getting a little bit antsy going through the quad oval. They continue to rush by. Number 51 maintaining his swap between 2nd and 3rd position. Maintaining that side draft, coming off that number 8 and possibly the number 20 when he's able to get up there. He's got that speed in there. It just depends on who can work it with him. The number 10 is pushing him a little bit as they go through 3. They're catching up to the number 92 of Brad Whiteman. What is that going to mean for them? Is Brad going to go wide, or is he going to slow down the lower levels? We're going to see. Although it looks like the 92 with his blue flag, we don't know. They keep catching up to them. That number 10 is pushing the 51 as they come through 1. Number 99 is going to be working with that number 35 a little bit, as Dean is going to try to work with that number 10 if he can. Sometimes it's a little bit rough. The number 92 goes wide, making it 3 wide as they go through the backstretch. Number 51 getting a little bit of side draft, able to push himself into first place for the second. Maybe he can go somewhere. The number 10 is going to be working with him. The number 92 skims the wall. Does it hurt anybody else? It does not. The number 51 is maintaining that second place position. What is he going to do? Number 51 comes up. Brady Floyd looks like he gets a little bit loose. Everyone looks a little bit loose coming through the quad oval. Number 10 is working with that number 51. Can they do it? Can they get by? They're making some pretty good laps here. Oh, there's a little bit of some issue there. Bryn goes down low. Does it catch an issue with anyone else? No. The number 10 is there. We're going to have to take a look at that incident to see if anyone is going to be at fault there. Ooh, some bumping coming into the number 99. Dean Quality moves out of the way. Zachary Thornton checks up on the number 99. This was really reshuffled the grid. Brady Floyd is without his teammate. The number 10 is going to not teammates with that number 20. What is that going to mean for them? Bryn George looking awful aggressive as that number 51 is. The number 10 is in second place. There's a spin out the quad oval. It hits Scott as they wreck through. Caution comes out.
Throughout the course of that last run, did you see any rubber laying down at all?
Ignoring Chad Gnaus right there. Looks like we've had some issues as the drivers begin to slow down and start to file back up. Your current positions are going to be in first place position is going to be the number 20 of Brady Floyd. In second position, the number 10 of Cameron Pfeiffer. In third place, the number 51 of Zachary Cox. In fourth place, Bryn George. Fifth, Zachary Thornton. Sixth, Dean Qualley. In seventh, there's going to be Ace Stewart. Ninth, it's going to be Scott Whiteman. I skipped eighth. That's going to be the 99 of George C. Williams. And in last place, we currently have Brad Whiteman, who's a lap down. Let's take a look what happened back there, because that was very interesting to see. We're going to see that from Scott's perspective. We saw in Michigan, Scott had a good perspective, too, with the last wreck. Let's see what happened. Everything looks fine through here as we go through the quad oval. Perhaps some loose drivers. I see the number 99 got loose, which then hit Ace, causing him to spin. Ace is able to maintain it, though, as he crashes into Scott. And Brad seems to avoid it just a little bit. Still looks like he had a little bit of a incident, though, coming through, as he does hold it, though. I believe Ace was able to hold it through the corner, though. He did. Goodness, what a wreck coming through that quad oval, though. Number 99 of George C. Williams is probably going to be kicking himself after that one. Understandably so, though. That is quite a wreck to go through. I mean, especially through there. Quad oval is such a tricky here at Legacy Charlotte because it just causes drivers to get seriously messed up. Yeah, it looks like he just didn't turn well enough. That's disappointing for him. George C. Williams has done well in the past. Yikes. It happens, though. Our drivers can sometimes struggle here. I do believe our drivers should be able to make it with fuel mileage, however, so they should not need to pit too badly. As here we are catching up with them on lap number 19 of 40, just about halfway through. Number 10 of Cameron Pfeiffer is going to be looking to see if he can get by them at all, because it's going to be his goal. Looks like Bryn and Dean go into pit, however. Same with Scott. Scott's going to need that pit, though, after that incident. We'll see if anyone's going to be able to make it out in time. Actually, it looks like they do, which is good to see. Scott and Dean. They should not be going a lap down, I do believe. Yes, they are good. Brady Floyd, your leader, still up there. Perhaps he's getting a little bit anxious now, knowing that the number 10 and the number 51 are going to be working together to see if they can get by him. Looks like your grid has gotten reshuffled a little bit as you're now halfway through the Legacy Charlotte race. In third position, we still have Zachary Cox, and in fourth, we now have Zachary Thornton. In 5th position, we have Ace Stewart, who is now going to be a little bit in more contention to see if he can get back into 1st place. He's been fast in the past, and he's going to be fast again. He struggled a little bit so far today, but maybe it was just a little bit of an issue. If he can catch back up, he'll be able to get something done. Behind him is going to be Scott Whiteman, who was caught up after getting sadly caught up with that incident with George. Behind him is Dean, who's been really fast in the past and was a serious contender against Brady Floyd. If he can do something about that, maybe, just maybe, Brady Floyd can get kicked down. Bryn George is going to be behind him in the number 8, as he is now in 8th position. 8-8, look at that. Then behind them is going to be the number 92 of Brad Whiteman, who is currently a lap down. He does not pit, however, and is going to be maintaining some damage at the moment. Brad's been fast in the past, though, even with some damage. We've seen that happen. So maybe it can be interesting, as we are now 1 lap to green here at Legacy Charlotte. If you are interested in this kind of racing, then make sure you check out Homebrew Racing. We are available on iRacing. Make sure you apply and join us. We would be happy to have you. And you can be part of big races just like this with our league. Also, make sure you check out Woodbeck Auto Parts, one of Canada's largest southern auto parts recyclers and distributors. They can ship just about anywhere in the Southern Canada region. So make sure you give them a look at www.woodbeckautoparts.com. You see our drivers rolling by here. We'll see what they can do here at Charlotte. We've seen them fast. Looks like Zach is going to warm his tires up a little bit. Good idea, as they have been loose so far. Thornton keeping it clean so far in this race, too. It's good to see. Our drivers come up. The pace car will be off in just a moment. Brady Floyd, still your leader, with the number 10 of Cameron on his outside. Drivers are bunched up. Pace car is off. They head into the restart zone.
Ready, green flag.
Green flag, as Brady Floyd is still in 1st place. Looks like the number 10 gets a bit of a rough start. The number 51 is going to be in 2nd place now. Number 35 is going to be filing with them. Number 10 is left out to dry just a little bit. Maybe Ace can give them a little bit of help as they go through this restart. They go into 1 and now into 2. Looks like the number 10 is going to be in 3rd position with 51 in 2nd. The 35 is actually going to move himself into 2nd place now, as Cameron's been left out to dry just a little bit more. It's bad to see for him. He's not had a huge amount of participation here. We're going to see as Dean Qualley moves himself up a little bit. Scott Whiteman too, holding back Bryn. Bryn is towards the rear and cannot help his teammate out in front. We're going to see how that goes. It looks like they're too wide now. Thornton moving himself into 2nd place. Dangerous move, as it's kind of risky to do just on the first lap back. This is not the last lap, boys. Keep that in mind. Thornton now in 2nd place. Maybe Cox can work with him just a little bit. They go through the quad oval. It's still a little bit stable, which is good. It's good to see they're doing okay. They are too wide going through there. Outside line has worked pretty well for Zach so far. He's been able to maintain some track position. They are spread out a little bit now. They're having a little bit of staggering back in the rear. Dean Qualley moving himself up just a bit more. Maybe he can maintain a little bit more positions as they go through. Everyone running the high line a little bit. Ace running very high up there. Your top 4 are really getting feisty right now. Thornton is being very aggressive, holding that 2nd place position. Does not want to let Zach in at all. Number 20, Brady Floyd, is continuing to be your leader. He's been fast in the past, and we'll see if he can continue to be fast now. Number 10 moving up to the inside quarter panel of the 51. Maybe they can work together to see if they can get by anyone. A little bit of a bump coming from the 10 as they go into 3, getting them loose. Gives that 51 a chance to catch up a little bit, but Thornton is able to maintain that inside line as they now head into the quad oval. We'll keep an eye on Thornton at the moment. We'll keep his car on them, There we are. He's actually shuffled out to the rear a little bit, trying to maintain himself from that aggressive driving. Number 77 comes up to see if he can steal back 3rd place. Let's get to some single car driving through here. Brady Floyd will still be your race leader. Ace is moving down just a bit more, which is kind of awkward to see. Maybe you can see if you can get by anyone. They run the low line coming through 3. They go through 4. Thornton is going to be right on the edge of Brady right there. Zach trying to see if he can get anything done as he moves himself into 2nd position once again. They got a little bit more too wide racing up here. Everyone's getting a little bit loose coming on there, going into 1. We'll follow along with Bryn George now. We can see him towards the rear, trying to make it interesting. The number 51 still fighting up a little bit. Bryn has moved himself up to the outside, passing some drivers see if he can work back with his teammate again. Bryn has been fast here. He's won twice. Maybe he can get somewhere. Cameron a little bit loose through the quad oval. Number 51 falling back a little bit because he has no one really to work with right now. Maybe Bryn will work with Zach a little bit. Maybe they can shuffle Thornton out of the way. AC at the moment seems like he's kind of stuck at the rear at the moment. He was your first qualifier, but, well, right now he's kind of running towards the rear. Maybe his lap times are looking good, but it's hard to see. They get a little bit loose of the quad oval once again. Several drivers maintaining that outside line, seeing if it can get anywhere, because it's going to be the only thing that's going to get them by Brady Floyd, because there's no way he's letting them through. They rush through. Thornton looking down on the inside of the number 20. Cameron right behind the number 35 as well, as they are all really bunched up together here going through. Looks like Brandon is trying to see if he can make it around the outside of the number 51. Maybe that's not the best idea at the moment, as they are all so close together. Number 35 looking kind of low. Is he going to try to spin him going through? It's possible. Bryn George looking to that inside as that goes wide. Was not able to get through. Number 51 holding his spot. They're all looking really antsy coming through the backstretch now. Number 35 seeing if he can get just low enough to get through, as they're really starting to get bumped up a little bit here. Pump track and see if they can get through. We see Dean Qualley moving himself up to 6th position. Zach is looking mighty fast next to that number 20. Maybe he can get somewhere. If Bryn wants to give him that push, he can get by. But Bryn does not want to let him by, though. Bryn is going to try to get that 2nd place to give Extreme Racing as many points as possible. Scott rounds out then their other teammate in 8th position. Number 35 looking a little bit sketchy as they come through the back stretch. Bryn looking through. They're all really bunched up together. Are they about to make it 3 wide? No. Bryn goes out just enough. Zachary Thornton looking kind of close. Looking to that inside quarter panel of the number 51. No spin. They lead the quad oval, continuing their position. Looks like the number 10 got a little bit shook there going through. 10 to go here at Legacy Charlotte. What can they do? They head into 3, going through. Number 51 is currently your technical leader until Brady Floyd uses that bottom line to get somewhere. Maybe if Zach can use that just enough to get by Brady across the start-finish line. Number 35 looking to that inside so he can get anywhere. They're all really close together. This is some sketchy racing we see here. Number 51 going up high, trying to block Brent from getting anywhere. Dean Qualley on the rear of that number 8. Well, actually, let's take a look at this through Scott's perspective. We'll look at the gyrocam. You can see everyone kind of shuffling about. You can see really how sketchy all this is and how much lack of grip out there. Oh, there's a spin. There's spin. Zach spins. There's a wreck there on the 3rd. Takes out Zachary Thornton.
It's all on you, man. It's all on you. You make the call here.
Let's take a look at that again. Kind of wish I was following along with them now. Let's give that a pause and we can take a look at the number 51 as they go through there. Thornton goes down very low so you can get anywhere. 51 takes that lead spot and he just gets loose. It's what happens here. There's a lack of grip. Looks like his rear tire's kind of kicked out from underneath him. He comes down low and just collects the 35 with him. Nothing could be done about that. It's rough to see, but it happens. Looks like the number 35 came back up on the track. No one was coming, so it looks like there's no wreck. Well, George was coming, but was able to dive below. A bit of a roll coming there as well. Rough to see. Hate to see it too. It's going to shuffle up with 7 laps to go here at Charlotte. Our drivers are going to have to be really careful to see what goes on next. Dean Qualley is now moved up a little bit into third position. Maybe he can start contending for the lead. He was able to do that at Michigan, but had some fuel economy issues just because of the lack of fuel. Maybe that'll change now. Maybe the number 10 will work with him. A lot of our drivers starting to come down. Looks like Zachary Cox is going to be out of the competition as his iRacing has crashed. That is rough to see. It's disappointing hearing that from our race leader. Not race leader, I'm sorry, our league leader. Can Brady Floyd continue to hold this lead position as they have 6 to go this time by? Race leader is going to be still the number 20 of Brady Floyd, followed by the number 8 of Bryn George. There's your dynamic duo. Now he's going to be followed by the number 98 of Dean Qualley, who's going to be on the inside in the third row. He's going to be trying to beat and bang on that number 20's rear bumper. He's come back from the rear, and he's going to see if he can do anything. Number 10 of Cameron Pfeiffer is going to be on the number 98's outside. Then on the inside of that 98 is going to be the number 77 of Ace Dewitt. Behind them is going to be Zachary Thornton and Scott Whiteman. Thornton on the outside, Scott on the inside. Behind that is going to be Brad. We'll see what happens as they continue to go through. Maybe they can make something interesting happen. Were we able to get Zach Cox back? It looks like he was able to return. That is great to see. Maybe he can get somewhere after that disappointing wreck. Let's take a look at that number 98, his paint. The ERA Sim Sports paint for him. DeWalt paint. It's good to see. The same with Pepsi. Remember, if you're looking for interesting racing just like this kind you see here, make sure you check us out on iRacing with Homebrew Racing. We are there on iRacing. Make sure you check us out, search us up in the Leagues tab, and we'll be happy to accept you. We have multiple different series going to be running, including as soon as this series is over, the Sterling Sim Academy, we are going to be having the Weekend Modified series. Also, make sure you check out Woodbeck Auto Parts, one of Canada's southern largest auto parts distributors and recyclers. They're going to be giving you great prices for great rates. Make sure you check them out at www.woodbeckautoparts.com. Our drivers roll through turn 4 at the moment as they're about to start going on through, as the pace car is about to come off as they are 1 lap to green. Unless my game is screwed up. Oh, we're on replay. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Goodness. Probably should make sure of that first, shouldn't I? They go into turn 3 at the moment, too wide, as they're going to be doing their restart. Bryn George on the outside of the 20 of Brady Floyd. It's been an interesting race here at Legacy Charlotte. We can't wait to see what happens next. Our drivers are coming down. They head into the quad oval.
Green flag.
Green flag. Brady Floyd is off, followed by the number 8 of Bryn George, followed then by the 98 of Dean Qualley. It looks like Thornton is going to be pressing on the number 77, see if they can get anywhere. 8 comes down to see if he can block Dean from getting there, because Dean has been a serious contender against that 20 in the past, here, as we saw in Michigan. Dean Qualley is going to be right up against him. Maybe he can get somewhere. It's going to be single file, it looks like, through a lot of the leaders now as they run through the backstretch heading into 3. Number 51 back on track. Awesome. Good thing he got his iRacing restarted in time. He's down a couple laps now because of that incident. It's hard to watch. Looks like Dean Qualley was able to move Bryn to the outside as he's going to be there now. Maybe Bryn is going to use that to stay in third place as there are 3 laps left to go here at Charlotte. Number 98 going to that inside as they run through, going into the backstretch now. Number 98 looking for his first race win here. Maybe he can dethrone Dean Qualley can dethrone Brady Floyd as they go through. Ace do it in currently 5th position, 4th right now, as they run through. Current points leader. We're going to see how that affects here after the race. We'll keep an update on that. Bryn George looking to see if he can fight his way up. Maybe he can actually take away Brady Floyd as your leader. Looks like Thornton is going to be pressing on that number 8, seeing if they can get anywhere. Number 10 of Cameron Pfeiffer's fallen back a little bit as they go 3 wide through the back stretch. They are very separated out, though. Brad Whiteman on that outside. Maybe he can hold it as they run through. They do. Good to see. Good to see. No more wreck. Is there now 1 lap to go? White flag as they are here at Legacy Charlotte. Can Dean Qualley do it? Can Bryn George do it? Can they take down Brady Floyd, even though Bryn and Brady are teammates? Maybe Bryn is looking for that win again. Dean Qualley on that inside. Maybe they can go through. Dean looking to the inside, now following right behind. Ace right behind them too. Thornton looking very aggressive as they come through the backstretch. It's fascinating to watch as they go through 3, now through 4, as they head into the quad oval. Can Dean do it? Can anyone do it as they go through? Brady Floyd, still your leader. They come through. Everyone's loose. Dean looking to the inside. Ace looking to the inside as they go 3 wide across the start-finish line. And there is going to be your race. And there's a huge wreck after the race caused by that. Dean is rolling over. Scott is hitting the wall. Brad's into the wall. Ace is into the wall. Everyone is wrecking. Zach is spitting. Look at that wreck. Huge wreck coming off the end. It looks like Bryn George is going to be your race winner, followed by Brady Floyd and the number 35 of Zachary Thornton in 3rd. In 4th, it's going to be Dean Qualley. Everyone had a huge incident coming out of that end. That is insane. We're going to have to look at the end to see what happened after that. Wow. What a race. Let's take a look at the number 8 of Bryn George, your race winner, who has taken down Brady Floyd as your 4 in a row. He was not able to make it 5. Bryn got it instead. Good show from everyone. That was some fast laps we got from everyone. Brady Floyd put in some mega defense. Dean came right from the dead just to come back. Bryn does his burnouts for your race win. Mandatory celebration done by Bryn. Good race win from him. It's great to see. Everyone is super proud of him. Great job. Quite a finish. Everyone looks like they're going to be all doing some burnouts together. Even Thornton, too. So they're all coming up against. There it is. Your race wins. Remember, if you like racing like this and you want to see some more kind of racing, make sure you check out Homebrew Racing. We'll be happy to have you. Make sure you check us out. Also, make sure you check out Woodbeck Auto Parts at www.woodbeckautoparts.com, our gracious series sponsor. Seriously, give them a look. Great race from everyone tonight. We're happy to have everyone. It's great. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. And we're going to see you next time with round 11 of the Stirling Sim Academy series. Thank you, everyone, for attending. And this has been Noah Walter as your series commentator.